Dice Age is made possible thanks to the support of our patrons. Thank you very much, and enjoy the show.
The Empire of Maca has existed for nearly 1,000 years. Founded and ruled by Ava the Main, the immortal empress, it quickly expanded its borders thanks to the overwhelming power of its mages and the shrewd politics of its nobles. Now it has fully conquered the centre of the continent of Elmera, and although war has ended, peace still eludes its populace. As the Empire nears its first millennia, the signs of turmoil have become more frequent and apparent. Monsters are becoming more bold, nobles plot schemes of usurpation, and whispers of rebellion hang heavy in the slums. This gave rise to the adventurer. These strong individuals of all races and classes lend their might to the citizens of Maca to drive back monstrous incursions. There are even adventurers who perform deeds so noble that the people can see beyond their race to the hero that lies within. There are those who criticise these adventurers and claim they're nothing more than pawns used to advance the political machinations of nobles. Despite the immortal Empress herself making fewer and fewer appearances, there are those whose faith in the Empire remains unshaken, but the wise know that it only takes a few sparks to ignite the flames of change. Allow me to introduce you to these sparks. Welcome to Elmera.
Hello and welcome to Dice Age, an actual play D&D show. My name is Jack and I'm the Dungeon Master. With me as always are our wonderful heroes. Would you all please go around and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm AJ and I play Edgar Wood, the Half-Elf Blood Hunter.
Hey, I'm Alice Rose and I play T, the Elven Sorceress.
Hey, I'm Dakota and I play Essa, the Human Rogue.
Hello, I'm Zach, me playing Tauros, your Tiefling Paladin.
Hello, I am Trey, and I will be playing Oberon Perseus Maximus Germanis Cornelius Alexander, your Drow Fighter.
Wonderful. And AJ, I'm really sorry. You wrote an incredible, detailed, funny, and amazing, entertaining recap. I did trip while I was carrying it with me to the studio, and it did fall down a sewer, and then the sewer exploded.
It cost me a lot of money to make that, Jack.
Well,
Robert Downey Jr., Jack.
Chad GBT, Jack. Chad GBT.
Care to elaborate, or just Robert Downey Jr.?
That's it.
I think that's self-explanatory.
You ruined
honestly.
the surprise, so.
Okay. Well,
now we know what we missed.
To make up for it, I'll just do a quick little recap instead. So the party, after valiantly defeating the tag team of Avila and Durgal in the previous episode, found themselves saddled with a very magical and scary artifact that was granted to them by a goddess who was the goddess Morrigan. Oops. And now they have a huge target on their back because there was a scrying orb there that disappeared just as they secured the relic. Additionally, you all began making your way back to towards Cailleach, her last known location. Along the way, you did some investigating of the relic. Discovered with amazing nat 20, Tauros realized that he was able to use a third level spell slot to be able to safely handle the relic for up to 10 minutes, preventing any of you from suffering any of the potential negative effects of handling something of that concentrated divine power. Additionally, you all studied it, realized that it had an incredible amount of potential as a sliver of the power of the goddess Morrigan, and Knowing that, you decided to safely tuck it away in your bag of holding that smells like a corpse. You all then made your way through the Linnaean forest to find the whereabouts of the hag Cailleach. Along the way, you all managed to also secure a single sparrow's egg after a very intense bout of survival checks. And upon arriving at Cailleach's location, before you got there, your friend Essa attempted to contact Cailleach using his medium abilities, seemingly without success. However, once you all arrived at Cailleach's location, you managed to, after standing outside staring at it for a good 10 minutes, approached, and Cailleach appeared behind you and invited you all into her home. She thanked Essa for giving the heads up that you all would be appearing, and also insinuated that she knew something about T's past.
Called me by my full government name.
Did indeed call you by your full Christian name. And then proceeded to have you all enter into her home, had T help her get some tea to offer to you all, and then where we left off was with her asking you all a very straightforward and simple question. What are your thoughts on the goddess Morrigan? How do you feel about the goddess Morrigan? And I believe that covers all the basics.
Quick lore recap, just so I'm not confused as to who Morrigan is. Morrigan, mother of Maka, killed, and Maka and Fomora were in love, killed Maka, and then killed Fomora.
Yes, Morrigan is the chief goddess of the Sylvanus Pantheon. She's a goddess of sovereignty, war, and conquest. And she did, in fact, kill her daughter, or at least this is what Baphomalia claims, did kill her daughter, and then when Fomora attempted to get revenge, killed Fomora as well.
But the story they're telling is that Fomora killed
Maka, and then Morrigan and the gods fought back in retaliation.
That is correct. And that Maka is also the creation goddess who made all of the elves.
Yep.
Can I make any sort of roll to try to math out how Cailleach might feel about Morrigan? I think I got some theories, but I'd rather know.
You can. So we are now returned to the world of Elmera, and you absolutely can make a. You can either make an insight check to try to guess her feelings and attitudes based on how she's presenting right now. You could also do an Arcana or Religion check to just see if you know any stories about interactions between Cailleach and Morrigan.
I'm going Arcana because that's my biggest modifier. 16.
16.
That's not as bad as I thought it would be.
There are not very many stories about Cailleach and Morrigan. You cannot think of any at this moment.
Good.
Essa will speak up first and go, well, I'm no fan of hers from the stories we've been told and the stories we've heard.
Well, that's interesting. And the rest of you, do you share in the sentiment of Mr. Essa?
I would tend to agree. We've had some information come to light that has quite colored our opinions.
We are going to just pause real quick because Trey is muted right now, and I imagine Oberon would have a reaction to this conversation. So I don't want to have Oberon not be included. So we're just going to wait until Trey can pop back in.
I just want to double check. What was the?
Yeah. Oberon's. It's kind of a look on his face, like he doesn't quite know what to say, but just kind of sets his jaw and just don't have too strong of an opinion either way right now.
All right. Oberon, could you give me a persuasion or deception check depending on sorry, this should be for everyone, not just Oberon, but everyone give me a persuasion or deception check depending on if you are lying to Cailleach or if you're telling the truth to Cailleach.
This is a persuasion
Fuck.
check.
I rolled
That
poorly.
that's such.
He rolled a 2 for a 14.
Alice, shut the fuck up.
I rolled a 2.
Fuck out.
I rolled the same thing as you.
Please do not let Oberon's answer that she probably likes the least be the best.
Oh no!
We got a 14
think
from
we
T,
did.
a 20
We're the
from
only ones who
Oberon, a 14 from Dakota for Essa, and a 19 from Edgar.
Horus is kind of like running his thumb along the holy symbol that's attached to his chain, and almost a bit kind of quietly he'll say, I fear her for what she's capable of.
Yeah, give me a little persuasion check.
Deception.
Deception. I ain't
Let's
afraid
go!
of her.
I think she's hot.
I think she's hot.
Yeah, with a 23
Not as hot
persuasion.
as you.
God damn it.
23 persuasion from Tauros. Okay. So,
Hey, how did you roll the worst?
Don't fucking talk to me.
He leaves. He's done.
Mhm.
Tea leaves? Tea leaves? Hey.
Hey.
No.
So Cailleach has kind of like nods. She, like, as you all have been explaining, she's like poured out the tea into the cups and offered one to each of you. It's like a fairly mild smelling, though still aromatic. Looks like a black tea. She does also have a little pitcher of cream and a dish of sugar for you all if you choose to partake. And she nods and says, pretty, yeah, no, that's good to know. And she looks at you, Tauros, and she says, you? I believe you might be the smartest one in this whole group. Or at least the most perceptive.
That's not a very high bar.
Also kind of like, he actually kind of like tilts his head. What do you mean?
Oh, you all should be deadly afraid of that woman. Though, luckily for you, she tends to view herself far above you mortals in your dealings and things of that nature. So, although, and she like gestures over to the bag of holding, occasionally she does get involved in things like this.
Boris kind of follows her gaze and will kind of like sit forward. His hand still like left his holy symbols. What is she capable of?
Oh, immense things. Great power. You know, she did lead a war of conquest within the realm of the gods to solidify her control over the gods of the elves, correct?
Do we know
Oh.
I was gonna say,
Do
can I
we
roll
know
to see
this?
if I know that, or was that
Do we
something
know
we
this?
just know?
that? We know she's the god of
It
conquest.
sounds like her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, she's the god of war.
You all can. I'll say without a religion check, this is something that you all would have been growing up in Elmera. This is something you would all know. Even Essa, like growing, like taking your training in the school, you would know this. It's taught that Morrigan did unify all of the elven gods together into a single pantheon, sometimes through force when necessary. Cailleach's definitely giving it a less pleasant spin, though. She says, well, why do you think her husband is known as the eunuch?
Yeah.
When she decides that something belongs to her, she takes it. And if someone tries to prevent her from doing so, they don't exist to her anymore. And if anyone should try to put up a fight, they don't last much long. She takes a sip of her tea. No, I'm just glad that you all here are not devout followers. I tend to have issues whenever they approach me.
Madam, I can assure you, mixed though our opinions may be, no one here is devout for her.
But this feels like a mistake for us to have this. I don't understand why in that moment she would let a piece like this fall into our hands.
Oh, let me explain, dearie. She has no choice but to excise parts of herself every millennia or so. Divine beings, despite being, gods, they have their own limits. And when one has assumed control of such immense power, that power does need to be released on occasion. Think of it like if you take a jar and fill it with water, eventually it will overflow if you don't stop that stream. So eventually some of it needs to be removed safely to prevent flooding from occurring. She needs to excise the excess amount of divinity within herself every so often. This is something fairly unique to her as a result of her, as aforementioned, conquests.
So
we
we
got
were just
lucky. We got lucky or unlucky, whatever. We just happened to be there.
Well, I would assume so. It's unusual for a goddess to be excising power, obviously, and unusual still for there to be people there to receive it immediately. May I promise I won't take it. I would detest even touching it, but may I see that relic?
T will look around the room to see
I look at
probably
Toros.
Oberon's horrified face and everyone else going, sure.
Well,
can we
Oberon's
stop
face
her?
isn't horrified, but Oberon's face is definitely
I look at Toros. You're the god expert here. I'm gonna leave this to you, buddy.
As far as we know,
God.
you're the only one that can hold it.
What do you seek? What do you seek to see of it?
something feels different this time, and I want to take a look.
Alrighty. Let me just take
This
a look
time,
real quick.
have you seen this
Can
before?
I was about
Wait,
to say at that
wait.
moment, can I roll an insight check on Cailleach? See if this is something that she's she's acting way too familiar with this.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see if this is maybe like obviously not the first time this specific set has something she act too familiar with this, like she's done this before.
Yeah, give me an insight check, Edgar. If you're,
I'm just flat out asking it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
I was like,
flat out
if
asking
no one
for
else was
insight.
asked, I was going to ask it.
yeah. So you, Edgar, you ask, have you seen this before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 27 insight
That's a
from Oberon.
27.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Damn.
yeah. She nods and says,
Beautiful.
"Oh, I was here when Ms. Nemain claimed it the first time 1,000 years ago."
Oh.
Oberon, you detect no lies from her. She is being very forthright and honest and seems familiar with this whole situation.
Did you see her claim it?
Oh, I didn't see her directly.
But you were
once
here when
once you hear about an elf who's able to lay siege to entire nations,
you kind of figure it out.
you know the nature of how divine beings work. It's easy to put things together.
Just to,
But
Is it
have you seen this artifact in this form before it's been taken in by someone?
I saw it when I was in the realm of the gods, and I saw Morrigan shed it the first time.
You
Nani the fuck?
you were in the
the
realm.
realm of gods.
Oh,
Or
are you unfamiliar? And with that, she's going to like wave a hand over her face, and up to now, she's been looking like a withered old woman, but like just looked like a woman, like a human woman. As she waves a hand over her face, you see her skin has turned into this deep purple. Her nose is hooked downward, and her face is almost kind of rotting in certain spots. And her like hair is turned into this wild mane of black hair, like long gnarled claws at the ends of her hands, and she just kind of goes, "I'm not immortal, sweetie."
He looks fucking shook.
Oh.
okay. I look over to Oberon.
Anything
know what to
about
do.
this? Does anything about this seem like? Have I heard of anything that matches this description, Jack?
Give me an Arcana check.
And
I'll do
would it
this.
be an Arcana or a religion check? Would I have heard something about something like this?
This would need to be an Arcana check.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, I have advantage on those.
Let's go.
23.
That's a nat 20 for a total
Do
of
I
19.
need to roll? Do I even need to roll?
I'll say, T, give me an insight check real quick.
Oh, no.
I'll let you have advantage on this.
Oh, that's good.
Start off with an 18. All right, so that's a nat 20 for a 19 for an Arcana check from Oberon, a 23 Arcana check from Dakota, and an 18 insight check from T. T, sensing there was already a heavy feeling of magic in the air of this building. You sense a familiar magic as she casts off her glamour. And this feels intensely familiar to the feelings you have when you're channeling your hag form. And Oberon and Essa, both of you recognize just from looking at her that she matches descriptions of night hags that you've read about and studied. Though from the amount of like anyone who's like able to perceive magic, which I think is everyone here. I think everyone has access to magic in some form. Even Oberon with his runes has.
I was about to say Oberon can't really sense them. Like I feel like he would be the least in tuned here easily.
I'd say even Oberon, you can feel a slight pressure. The rest of you who are able to perceive magic feel an intense amount of energy and strength emanating from Cailleach at this point. She then waves her hand over her face again, resuming her appearance as a older human woman, and just says, "I've been along and dealing with our good, with the good goddess for quite some time."
Oberon at this point, hands on the weapon, but he definitely just in a much firmer tone, still being respectful, but now okay, I would appreciate you could tell us. Just because you are not mortal does not mean that you can walk the realm of the gods easily. There's something more. I would appreciate you could tell us what you really are, or who you really are.
She nods and she just says, "Give me a persuasion check, actually, real quick."
Oh, fuck me.
Ooh.
22.
22.
You have
Okay.
a +6 and you're saying fuck me? Get out.
Yeah.
I can still roll like you.
That's true.
So yeah, with a 22, you manage to come off not rude, but more diplomatic in your way of saying it. And she kind of nods and says, "I admit I can understand that would be a little off-putting for you all, especially if you thought I was just some witch. Just what was the impression here? But no, I am what you may call a sort of fey creature. Not exactly a god, but I'm not a celestial either. I'm something that's sort of formed out of the raw magic flowing through the realm of the gods. And I take issue with the ways in which Morrigan seems to believe she has control over that realm. Though unfortunately, my attempts to confront her on this have not been successful.
If you have
Edgar
attempted...
visibly has a moment like, oh, cool. She does want to fight Morrigan. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you have had these encounters, but you also say that anything that has earned her ire has not survived, how have you?
She hears that and she just kind of smiles and goes, "You'll have to get to know me a little better if you want to know that story, dearie."
I think she's hitting on you. Oberon.
Thank you. That's more in Tauros's wheelhouse.
What? What?
But she just smiles and says, "No, but so now that we've got this all squared away," and she looks back to you, Tauros, "would you
Of
be able
course.
to show me the relic?"
Yes. And while he's doing it, he will ask, does this happen at predetermined areas? How can one track where it'll appear?
It would only be able to cross over in places where the wall is especially weak. This intense amount of divine energy would be stopped by it otherwise.
Do you know if when the Empress got it 1,000 years ago, if she received it up here?
Up
Or
here?
do you just know she received it?
Oh, dearie, no. And she just kind of she looks at you with this kind of almost pitying look, and she says, "No, dearie, she received it when she laid siege to your people's holy land."
Oh.
So was that that point of coalescence?
Indeed.
Edgar does not catch at all that she knows he's an Asori. That just completely.
That's just wow.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's it sounds about right that she would know.
And while they're all talking, as Tauros asked that question, he activated his his protection, he's pulled it out for her, and he's just kind of holding it in his hand.
Immediate confusion on her face as she looks at it. So you all see this again. To remind you all, when it first showed up, it was it looked like a 16-pointed star that was then split in half on a diagonal, and then the half was dropped through the point of coalescence. And as she observes it, she's keeping like a far distance back. She's staying in her chair, but she just looks at it and she goes, "Now that's interesting. Why would she split it?"
We were hoping that you would have.
You would know.
What was her exact verbiage again when she she
Um,
only said one line. But what
yeah,
did she say when she came?
If you feel worthy enough, touch it or something like that.
claim.
If you believe you're worthy enough, claim it.
Mm-hmm. She just like looks at it and she goes, she is going to roll an insight check against an action that happened a long time ago. So it's a high DC, but
She's probably got busted insight.
she's got very good insight, but she also got a bad roll. So she just goes, "Can't say that I know why she would do this."
When it appeared and we saw it, we also saw an eye that was looking back at us. Do you think that maybe she perceived us and was trying to stop it?
Perhaps. I do not know that she is so interested in the activities of this realm that she would want to have that direct sway over things. She's as arrogant as she is far more focused on the needs and activities of her realm, her domain. To do this is interesting. She kind of like just ruminating, but then like realizes like time's ticking. She goes, "Oh, my apologies, son. You may put that away if."
Yep. You'll carefully return it back to the bag.
Well, no doubt, you all came to me seeking some advice for how to handle that thing. Is that correct?
One of the reasons, yes.
Oh, multiple reasons. And what would the other reasons be?
Force is gonna look at Essa.
He looked at Essa.
I try to make it like a slight nudge, but I think in this tense moment, Edgar accidentally fully elbows Essa.
He just Essa like he's been quiet, trying to like figure out how he's gonna say anything. Kind of looks around, sees everyone staring at him. He's like, in his head, just like, I guess I'm going first.
We're all on the side with Cailleach now. It's just
Yeah.
Essa like kind of like this whole time he's kind of been hunched forward, kind of just like thinking in his own mind. He kind of straightens his back up and goes, "I have heard through allies of mine that you have an affinity towards being able to speak with the dead. I also share this ability. So far, you're the only one I know who has the same ability, and I would wish that if you could train me and help me learn how to control it."
Interesting. And she's going. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. At this point, I'm gonna pull out the mediums channel as well.
She is going to stand up, and she is going to like walk over to you, Essa, and like look you over, and then she's going to like say, "This is for a simple test for me to ensure a hypothesis that I currently have. May I see your hand, boy?"
I'll give her my hand.
she says.
Mistake number one.
She says, "Now this will just be a second, and I promise it won't hurt that much." And she like drops her glamour, and then with one of her claws pokes it directly into your palm, very quickly with like a needle-like precision, and then collects a drop of your blood up under her nail, and then takes it to her lips and tastes it. And then she, like, her eyes go wide, and she says, "You contain within you an interesting tie to a great and powerful entity, young man."
Like, he has no words. He just he's like, huh?
And she like pats your hand, and the wound that she just left it heals over. And she says, "Tell me, have you ever heard of the Reaper?"
Have I?
Everyone here can make a religion or arcana check. I'm going to let you know right now, the DC is 30.
Oh, I
We
don't know
got
if I can.
Woo!
I can't.
History
make
or
it.
Arcana?
History
Nope.
or arcana.
That's a natural one.
13.
Sorry, religion or
That's a-
arcana.
Religion. It's the same thing. So
Looks
With
19.
With a natural one, can I know that you're supposed to not fear the Reaper?
Kid.
Oh my god.
you're not familiar with the Reaper, but for some reason you're thinking of blue oysters. She looks at all of your expressions of like dumbfoundedness and curiosity and ignorance, and she just goes, "I thought not many people are unaware of this entity." And she walks back over to her chair, has not returned her glamour, so she's in her hag form still. And she says, "What do you all believe to be the inevitable fate of our cosmos?"
What the fuck?
Oh, have you all not thought of this?
I don't know if I know how to answer that.
Oh, very fair, very fair. None of you have had the millennia it takes to begin to peel away that particular mystery. No. The
In
ultimate...
Oberon's head, he's just like, we're all like fucking 20.
And she just says, "Oh no. Eventually, our entire cosmos, all living things, all mortals, all gods, all everything that is in creation and existence will come to an end."
This is like when I was in like 6 and I learned that the sun's gonna explode, and like I freaked out. That's what Taurus is doing, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Now,
And
Hmm?
and
Oh.
just stop right there.
Oh, sorry. Well, you see, everything will eventually come to an end. There will be no more creation, and all living things will be dead, and all dead things will cease to exist. And this is the will of the Reaper. Now, I'm not entirely sure if the Reaper itself is sapient or knows that this is what it is doing or what it wishes for. But it is the force of entropy, decay, destruction, whatever you would wish to call it. But it is the force that will, at some point in the far distant future, destroy everything. And you, she says, pointing to Essa, you have a tie to it, my boy. Now, don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong. Some things that when they come into existence have a shard of entropy within them, metaphysically speaking. There's no actual shard that I could pull out of your body. And those that do have this sensitivity to the ending of things. And in some cases, that includes the death of mortals. Tell me, was there anyone else that you've known to have this sensitivity?
My mother had it, but so far between her and you, the only two, as far as I've heard, as far as I've seen.
It is a very uncommon ability, though perhaps not as uncommon as some may think. Entropy is all around us. The Reaper's influence is felt in every living thing as soon as it dies, and even among the gods, they fear the Reaper. But those that are sensitive to it, those that contain shards of it, are able to harness that power of entropy and utilize it in unique ways. And it seems that you are able to do so, much like myself.
So you also have a shard of this entropy?
Oh, I took one.
From, if I may ask,
Mhm.
from who?
From the Reaper.
Get me out of here!
What the fuck? Edgar says out loud, what the fuck?
So, oh,
So
this is
much
a
of
lot.
this is going over Oberon's head. He's just like, what the actual hell is going on here?
He is hooked on every word.
Mhm.
Of course.
Apologies for my stunned silence. This is just a lot to take in all of a sudden.
No, I can tell. No, you see, when you want to destroy a goddess of immense power, you need immense power to do so.
Holy shit, you're badass.
And the thing that has the most power in the entirety of our cosmos is the Reaper. And so, I managed to find it's not exactly the correct way of putting it, but what'd you say?
Take. That was
Take.
the word you said multiple times.
No, yes.
Take.
I managed to be able to come into contact with this entity, and when I did, I siphoned a portion of its power into myself. And with that, I attempted to show the goddess her true place.
God fucking damn it.
You went to fight Morrigan?
Yes, unfortunately, I did not take enough power, and I was reduced quite a bit from my original state, and I had to flee here to the mortal realm in order to avoid further destruction.
Well, that adds up.
How long ago was that fight?
The scale of time with which this occurred.
Damn it.
Palpatine, motherfucker!
I want to say this entire session of ours is Jack saying something badass and all of us going, oh!
Oh yeah, we're trying to be like respectful and quiet with our reactions, but we're distracting each other.
Yeah.
But she says, it wasn't too long after she fully united the Sylvanus Pantheon. It was unfortunate I couldn't take the Reaper's power before she achieved her ultimate goals of unification. If I had attacked her earlier, or if I had managed to siphon that power at an earlier date, I may have been able to destroy her, but alas, here I am.
I have another, maybe this is a foolish question, but to try to understand the scope of this, if the gods fear the Reaper, then why don't the Sylvanus gods try to do what you did and siphon it for their own use?
Oh. Well, partially because when you take on the powers of the Reaper, you fall under its sway. The more powers from it you take, the more of it you become. And if you fully give yourself over to the Reaper, you lose yourself to it. And unfortunately, while it would be more accurate to say that the goddess Morrigan has near limitless power, the Reaper itself has truly limitless power.
Essa's gonna reach into his pocket and pull out the 3 remaining cards.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just gonna, like, after her saying the more you gain power, the more you give into it, and he's just like he looks at them with terror.
Mm-hmm. Oh, child, so long as you don't directly, the power that you've already claimed from the Reaper, just from your circumstances of birth, that's been done. You are not engaging unless you begin attempting to contact the entity itself. You are not at risk of further falling into its influence.
I need to make an insight check on Essa here real quick.
Same.
Just to check if he's thinking about doing that
20.
at all.
That's a deception
7.
or persuasion check from Essa.
Can I send it to you and just no one else?
You can just roll a d20 and then tell us what the result is.
Yeah.
That's a little insane.
I
Or
don't
check.
remember your
Yeah.
character.
Just send that to me.
Yeah.
You better hope you're not lying, you piece of shit. You better hope.
Okay.
Overrun's got a
Well,
3-1 with a crit.
So the only one who isn't able to read Essa right now is Edgar. Everyone else, what is the look on Essa's face as he hears about the implication of you could try to seek out more power from the Reaper?
There is curiosity, not in that he wants to do it, but that there's curiosity as to what the Reaper is, but when he hears that, there's also horror on his face. Like, he's very visibly terrified of what is in him and what is possibly out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's curiosity and horror to the entirety of the Reaper.
Gotcha. Edgar, for some reason you were trying to look through your eye-patched eye instead of
Fuck.
so you just don't get any of that.
I stand up because I'm dealing with some weird vertigo in this moment. Okay.
Gotta get my inner ear regulated.
Ooh.
But she says, if you'd like, I'd be happy to help you come to a stronger understanding of the abilities that your shard of entropy has granted you.
I would greatly appreciate that. My powers lately have gone out of control. I don't even mean to do this, and he shows the cards. Just kind of happens when things die around me.
Right. No, I could fix that for you easily. The only thing is, I do request payment in return for that.
What would you want in payment?
Well, what do you have to offer?
These bird eggs.
Egg.
Single.
Bird egg.
We got a couple first.
No.
We got a
No,
couple. and then
no.
We only have one
No,
egg.
we got one.
We only
have
found
one intact egg.
We break
That
it.
was the case the second time we looked, but we looked a first time and had a whole bunch to bring her.
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
We did not.
No, we
did
only had the
not.
one.
I don't. We only did one hunt. As far as
Yeah,
I
we
We
know.
only
definitely
looked-
looked twice.
Once.
We definitely looked twice.
Mm.
Get in the comments.
I'm pretty sure it was just once.
Alice, you are literally outnumbered 5-1. Give up.
Well, anyways,
Alice,
George
there's too much
puts the
mansplaining going on here. You can't.
George puts
Alice, stop
George puts-
gaslighting us.
He puts the egg in a headlock and says, "Give us the fucking money." So she doesn't have a choice.
Essa is gonna reach to his pack and pull out the original rapier they had when you started this, which the group would know is the one given to him by his mother before she passed away. It pretty much the only thing he has left of her. And he just kind of holds it up and just goes, my mom, when she passed away, gave me this as the only thing to remember her by. I don't know if it's enough, but hope it's something.
Hmm.
Kind of places it onto the table.
Yeah, she picks it up, and like still in her hag form, like holds it in both hands and gives like a deep sniff, and then just says, "A great amount of sentimentality attached to this." And she begins thinking, and then says, "This will cover quite a bit of it, but in addition, she looks over to you, says, I will also need 1 year of your life."
But what's fucked up is Essa doesn't realize he has 1 year left to live. He's
He just drops dead.
So just takes like he felt like this was coming, like this something like this was coming along with it. He just goes, I accept.
Good. We will begin your training momentarily. I do believe that there were other questions for me here.
Yeah. At this point, Essa will kind of step out the way and ruminate on his decision.
Mm-hmm.
Can we huddle real quick? Is that cool?
Oh, no, absolutely. As you all begin to huddle, she levitates the rapier and like just kind of like floats it deeper into her home.
We just see blood seeping out of Essa as the year slowly trickles.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to learn if there's anything she could do to help us be non-detected. We definitely want the passage to Ella Creek. We want to ask her to join the Alliance. There's a lot of shit there, and then we'll get tea. I feel like before any of those can ruffle her feathers, though, and maybe get her mad, maybe you ask your shit.
I've got questions.
I'd be cool with you starting it then.
She
fine
knows
with
my
that.
name. She knows my grandfather.
Cool.
He's old enough.
She knows he's a prick.
Well,
That's
that's obvious
actually
from a
not
mile
hard.
away.
It's not hard.
She knows him. And you can't tell me that you don't recognize anything.
Right.
Do an insight check. No, I don't know what you mean.
Another nat one. Oh my god.
My God.
Edgar's just like, no, what?
You know what? I think that's just going to make it more fun when you find out.
I don't.
All right. So are you breaking the huddle?
I'll say if we want to go about it, like each of us take something, I'm willing to talk to her about possibly joining the Alliance.
I will speak with her about the. Wait, I have to ask real quick. This may just be Trey like having a brain fart right now. Did she actually say that she was going to help us with the power of divinity, or she just identified
She
it?
just-
right?
She just
identified
identified it.
Lore dump.
I will speak with her about the non-detection, both for us and power.
And I'll look into Ella Creek.
I think I'll go last. I feel like that one's the least important. The Alliance.
Want to go first to maybe show that we are not trying to ask for too much.
Notoros.
Well, oh, I didn't hear Taurus. Yeah, I can start off.
All right. So she turns her attention to all of you.
Like we mentioned, we have a couple things we wanted to ask of you.
I believe T was going to start. Is that right?
Oh,
No,
I-
then we said
we-
Tauros.
Oh, okay.
I'm cool. Either
Yeah.
way,
Taurus
whatever you-
after
whatever-
T. After
Yeah,
T.
I
I
see.
Oh.
then
That's-
us three.
that's
I
what I
also heard-
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
never mind.
Yeah.
You go first.
Yeah.
Cool. When we were in the kitchen, you mentioned you were familiar with my family.
Oh, yes. I had quite a few dealings. Briefly, there was a time where I was living in Cailleach, and while I was there, I, had, it's fun to get involved in people's lives every now and then. You get to get favors and collect payment, and, sometimes you need to pay off debtors. And while I was there, I was beseeched by one Lord Rockford. He came to me asking me to assist him in matters of poisoning enemies and securing power, and I worked with him quite a bit on those occasions. And then there was a time where he asked me to steal away the heart of his daughter. Apparently, she had been involved in some sort of romantic entanglement that he found disadvantageous to his plans for the future. I informed him that my magic, while powerful, can't prevent someone from falling in love, to which he told me that I was a two-bit, conniving bitch who doesn't know what she's doing.
You gotta respect the
sounds
balls
like
at
him.
least. You gotta respect the
No.
balls.
The
And I
fucking
took his balls.
Then I took his balls. Now he's the eunuch.
okay, I know what quote I'm putting on this TikToks versus just Jack going, and then I took his balls.
Mhm.
That sounds like him.
So I told him, well, this two-bit hag bitch is going to ensure that you have as interesting a life as possible. And I placed a hex on his daughter.
A hex?
Oh, don't worry, it wasn't anything too terrible. I just made it so that it would guarantee conception the next time that she was with her lover. That in doing so, it would ensure great power comes to that child, and also that she would be the kind of person that would be his worst nightmare for a granddaughter.
I take immense pride in that, but also, holy shit.
Right. No, I knew it was you as soon as you showed up, Tiana. I'm quite familiar with you. You contain a shard of my power within you.
That makes sense then. And she'll turn into her hag form.
Indeed, yes.
This
That's Queen, yes!
Yes, pop off.
and then she kind of takes a second and soaks in this moment of being a hag with a hag
Mm-hmm.
and then goes back.
I'll say, while you're in your hag form, there is this intense resonance you feel between yourself and Cailleach. This feeling of there's in the back of your head, you get this whisper of, we should form a coven. And
Stop, because that's what I was already thinking.
Well, this is how T's back up character gets introduced. She just fucking
Yes.
the hag.
And
The
Cailleach,
year of my life. Take the rest of it.
Cailleach nods to you and says, yes, no, your powers, though, not all of them come from me, obviously, but you have an influence of me within you. You can think of that as a gift for yourself, as a sort of, my hexes can sometimes be more harsh than I intend on the, it's a thing of, yes, I punished your grandfather by making you be born, and that's a little unfair to you, don't you think? So I gave you a few boosts to go along with it.
I greatly appreciate that.
Well, you are
seem like
quite
you already know
welcome.
this. Thank you.
Oh,
You seem like you'd already know this, but I did use those powers to effectively dismantle his power and free my mother and father.
wonderful. I've kept abreast of the goings on in Cashel every now and then, and I did see that he was no longer the true leader of the city, and I am glad to see that you were responsible for that. That's quite
Yes.
good use of the gift that I gave you.
Thank you. My allies, of course, were indispensable in this.
No, of
Could not
course.
have done it alone.
Yes. Now, yes, do you have any other questions for me, dear Tiana?
I'm reeling a little, to be quite honest. This is an immense news to learn. I think most of my questions have been answered. If there's anything that you would advise
Oh,
as someone who crafted the power that I now wield.
yes, I would say that there is an opportunity for you to make better use of the gifts that I provided.
Oh,
Yes, no, if you would be interested, I could amplify the aspects of myself that are within you. Make your
and
transformation more powerful, give you more effective use of your spellcraft, and additionally, I can grant you a spell connected to the source of my own power.
I'd be incredibly interested, but I must know the price tag before I sign.
Oh, it's quite simple, dear. After your death, I would resurrect you as a new form of life. Instead of being a mortal, you would become a fae like myself, and you would join my eternal coven.
Um, sorry, that was Alice. Becoming a professional D&D player again. That is an incredible opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time finding a downside. I I accept.
Very well. And as she says that, she extends a hand to you.
T takes it.
As you take her hand, all of you feel this intense pressure within the room, like emerging from like kind of like crawling up the back of Cailleach. You see this like shadowy mass like envelop both her and T, and then like you all feel this like whooshing of air and like all of the like furniture rattling from the sheer force of it, all of you like having to like put your hand up against your face to try to like block the buffeting of the wind, and then like as within like an instant out of nowhere it just suddenly stops, and standing before you all you see both Cailleach in her night hag form and T in a new hag form. It looks significantly more night haggish compared to what you've seen from her before.
Would you believe me if I said I already updated the mini?
Amazing.
Yo, I want her to buff my cool girl transformation. I want that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very nice.
Oh,
Fucking sick.
You could
Oh, she's
pop any of the episodes you want.
hideous.
It's got, instead of being like in the gown, the like commoner gown kinda that she had that would like so obscured her, she's got these like cloth wraps across her and this like rugged cowl that shows more of her face. Her skin, instead of being a pale green, is now a pale sickly purple, and her eye sockets are still empty but have this kind of flame and fire on the inside. Um, and she's got like cloth pants tied with rope that just kind of make her look sick as fuck.
All right. T, I will now I have already told you this outside of the game, but I will now in the game tell you the new abilities that are coming with your improved hag form. Firstly, when you transform into this form, it lasts for you can transform into this form as an action, and it lasts for 10 minutes. Now, the first minute of this is when your combat effects apply. The last 9 minutes can only be used for roleplay stuff, which is like the advantages on intimidation and things like that. So you will get advantage on intimidation checks against creatures, against mortal creatures, like sapient humanoids, I would say. You also, in combat benefits, when in hag form, for the first minute after transforming, you deal an additional die of damage whenever you cast a spell. So instead of like the 3d6, or is it 3d6? Sorry, for Scorching Ray.
Yes.
It will do 4d6. Additionally, when you upcast a spell in this form, you gain a doubling of that benefit of the upcasting. So instead of like a second level Scorching Ray acting, a third level Scorching Ray will act as if it was a fourth level Scorching Ray. Additionally, you now have the effect of equivalent to the frightful presence of a monster, where at the beginning of your turn in combat, all enemies within 30 feet of you that can see you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be frightened of you for 1 minute. They can reattempt that save at the end of their turns, becoming immune upon a success. And then lastly, you gain access to the 5th level. It should be 5th level. I don't know why I wrote 6 there. The 5th level necromancy spell, Reaper's Scythe. It is a casting time of 1 action with a range of 150 feet, with verbal and somatic components. When you cast it, you call upon the power of the Reaper and summon a large spectral scythe shrouded in darkness to a point that you can see. The scythe then spins in a circle with a 20-foot radius. All creatures within the radius must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or suffer 3d8 slashing damage and 5d8 necrotic damage, taking half on a success. Additionally, a creature's maximum hit points are reduced by an amount equal to the necrotic damage until it gains the benefit of a long rest or a greater restoration. Lastly, if a creature dies as a result of the damage from that spell, its soul is claimed by the Reaper and cannot be revived except for the effect of a wish.
Nice.
It can be upcast as a 7th level spell, so going from 5th to 7th level. If you cast it as a 7th level, you can summon a 2nd scythe at the same time.
That's so awesome. That's so cool.
So T, you stand there feeling this surge of power and this stronger connection to Cailleach herself.
This is immense.
Indeed, dear.
She's kind of like, feeling the power, like as though it were a physical sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like toying with it a little. I am indebted to you, obviously.
Well, don't
Thank you.
worry. You will be paying that debt upon your death. And she just
will.
kind of like gives like a witchy cackle.
This is.
Well,
We're just signing
yes.
our souls away, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
We?
No, I like.
No, we.
Me and Dakota.
we-
Me
I
and
was like,
Dakota.
we as in me and Alice.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
Alice signed
I'm-
her soul away. I just
I like
signed
how
a
you
year of
guys
my
didn't
life
even
away.
think it over. You guys weren't even.
Yeah,
Maybe I should just. It was like a deal.
I'm so.
What is the downside to this?
What if it's not you? She just said she'd resurrect you into something else. She never said it would be you anymore.
Cool.
You are forever taken away if there's an afterlife from your loved ones in the afterlife, never able to see them again.
She's an atheist. She doesn't believe in an afterlife.
An atheist with a literal divine being right in front of her.
I get to be in an awesome coven.
Also, I imagine she might be able to talk to them anyway if she's with Cailleach.
But she can talk. Really?
Zach is distraught.
To be fair,
This is the coolest
I-
fucking shit.
I only lost a year of my life, so hopefully I live past a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, but like that's over. That's done. This is something that's gonna happen. You didn't even ask like, hey, when I come back, will I still just be me, or is it going? Am I gonna be like a fucking thrall?
Can
I would have been dead anyway. It's not my problem anymore.
Can I ask something for the specifics? Was it when she dies or when she dies of old age?
When she dies.
Okay, cool. So if you die, we can't resurrect you, bitch.
I just can't die.
You're the squishiest person in this party.
And I run like a bitch every time.
It's okay.
No,
we still
you
have
don't.
the flare.
No, you do not. No, you do not.
I'm excited. I'm excited to face the consequences of our actions.
This is literally Alice's IRL.
Alice Rose, am ready to face the consequences of my actions with a full heart.
Alice, we have sown, and now we will reap very soon.
Oh, you'll reap all
Hell
right.
yeah, we will.
Yeah. For the audience, we had a conversation not too long ago where Jack and I told Alice she needs to do more of saying "fuck you" to your future self, and she was like, "I don't really do that." Then proceeds to in-game do the biggest version of that we have seen in a D&D session.
That's future me's problem, and future
That's
me's
wild.
a bitch.
However, it's also
He
that's the
learns from the
coolest fucking thing.
past.
That's the single coolest thing that's happened. So fucking cool.
All right. So you guys have some other questions for Cailleach?
I guess so.
Go ahead. Why don't you just sign away your fucking hands while you're at it?
Carlos has to give up his AC. He has an AC.
I put into our private chat. We wait for this bitch to hear Taurus and be like, "Cool, give me your fancy fucking armor, bitch, baby. Give me your cool armor." All right. Well, after that, pretty fucking cool. Taurus will step forward and I'm gonna roll something to you, Jack, because there's also something else he wants, but he's like. What is it? Ooh. Okay. Before he asks what we talked about, he will mention, "May I ask just something of you in general?"
No. Go ahead.
When you were there with the gods, did you meet Medir?
I did not have extended interactions with the son of Morrigan, no. I did witness him on occasion cut a ruthless swath over the battlefield and end the lives of many different celestials and fiends and even a few minor deities as well.
It's pretty fucking cool. What Zach wants to say. I was once a paladin of him, and I have since renounced his oath, but I fear him still. But I was just curious. What I do ask of you today, we need to get somewhere quick. There is a town. Where are we right now on the map?
Linane Forest up.
We're at the
Yeah.
very top of it.
North.
I was gonna say, I think it's south.
It's pretty much on the opposite side of the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah. Not very close by. The small town called Ella Creek. We have some business that we should attend there. And we were wondering if there is a way you could transport us quickly.
No, I could do that. What are you offering as payment?
I got this fucking egg. Let's see. I just want to see.
You gotta do the egg.
You
man.
gotta try the egg.
Yeah,
You
he's
gotta
gonna try the egg. I just want to see what else is on him.
Can we does anyone have prestidigitation to make the egg look really nice?
I thought
Clean it off.
for some reason I thought Zach was be like, I'll just load back if it fails. Like he's gonna save scum this.
I do have prestidigitation.
You scum.
It's like he just
Um,
keeps rolling really bad on the checker. Like fuck, I reload.
I do not have much. I've heard tales that, while I don't believe this will cover all the payment, but when I was younger, I remember hearing a story of you that you were fond of eggs. What kind of bird?
Sparrow.
Sparrow. Sparrow eggs.
Do
That
you
have
do you
any fruit?
produce the egg?
Yeah, he'll kind of slowly, kind of like.
All right, you produce the egg. Give me a persuasion check with advantage and a +5.
Holy shit! Okay.
Can't
Well,
wait
nat
for
one.
John to be like you fucking.
Double
It's
nat
gonna be
one.
double
We're
that
getting
one.
this.
Come on, double that one.
Oh,
That's a-
God.
That was a 16, but because of the +5, goes up to a 21. And like in a second, she snatches the egg out of your hand, and she goes, "Yes, no, that will cover it."
God, more fucking eggs.
Torch falls to
Oh.
a knee and prays. He prays There's a god after all.
I look over
to
to
the egg real quick.
I
over
look
to
at
T.
Oberon, who did not take the hunting seriously at all. The biggest look of like, fuck you. This is your fault.
Essa looks over to T, and T looks back, and this is look up.
We could have just found fucking eggs.
Yeah, you signed your soul away. I signed it.
Toros would
I-
have given
I
you
tried-
the egg.
I
Toros
tried
would
to.
have given you the egg. No, I'm pointing at her. I'm pointing
I
at her.
know you're pointing at me.
I looked for an egg. I tried to find one.
The thing is, she knows that he had
You
it. She
can
just
hear
didn't
Zach-
care. She
You
just
can hear
didn't
Zach dying through Alice's side.
Man, that's the way a year of
No.
his life. She's gonna die. So I was like, you get this egg. She was like, hell yeah.
Yo,
you could."
Wait, we don't want to walk. Can you call us an Uber? Here.
I'm just literally seeing in my mind the fucking
We used.
the hag's right there. And she's like, I could give you these super cool powers, but all you have to give me is
Jack's
your
crying.
fucking life. And Toros is like, but I've got this egg, and T's like, no, let her cook.
We used our one free meal coupon on a fucking appetizer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The more I think about this, it's the fucking
I
stupor it
think
is.
we're all
It hurts. Oh, it hurts so much.
The sentimental
these are
score in
great.
one year of the
We
life.
had a free vacation anywhere in the world, and we chose
We
Tucson.
chose Birmingham.
god! Wow.
Literally.
Edgar walks out. Edgar takes a laugh.
Essa just like
This is no. This is our canon event.
keep
Oh,
all
my
this.
Alice being fucking just
Oh.
Essa not thinking, and Toro somehow looking his way into the easy answer. Our canon event.
Holy shit, for like the least important one, Taurus is ready to be like, nah, that's alright, you know, I actually
You cut out.
it's whatever. It's whatever. We don't have to go. And she was like, nah, you're fine. You got the egg.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Edgar's
Anyway.
trying desperately to not ask why. He's saying it under his breath. Just don't ask why. Don't ask why.
Or it's just like he looks confused. Like he looks back at everyone else. Is like, is this a? All right.
Oberon looks like he just got slapped in the face. He's like, "That's it."
I think this whole time S is just like looking over. Like he has not. His eye vision's not
And
left D.
Oberon's eyes literally turn over to SMT, and he's like, "Could have used the egg. You didn't."
How are we supposed to know it was
And
real?
Oberon is convinced that you two just wanted this to happen, no matter what. Like you guys will have given up more. You guys
No,
would have like. She was like, "All right, give me $10," and you guys were like, "No, 20." And she's like, "Fine."
Oberon, I'm gonna pull Oberon to the side. I think you're fucked. I think she got exactly what she wanted, and the price might have just gotten up for us.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh.
Oh god.
Legitimately, I'm mad. I'm legitimately mad.
I just want to
I'm
throw
mad
my,
in and out of character.
I want to throw my head through a brick wall because I was just like, this is a fucking stupid bit. That's all this should have been. This should have just been a bit that we
No, I
made.
think this is perfect.
Shut the
God.
hell up. Shut the hell up.
Alice, you got immortal life. I got a year of my life sucked away.
I like that I have through the process of a hag snatching an egg fully derailed this entire episode. Like it is.
Because if she had said no, this would have been just fine. But no, it was immediate, just snatched it. And I'm just
No context. No moral quandary. No lesson to be learned or given.
She
No
just saw
wisdom
the
or
fucking
insight involved.
like learning
Lady
about
likes eggs.
learning that has a chart of the god of death or the force of death or whatever inside. Pointing at Alice, fucking gets a
Basically
powerful
her
hag
granddaughter.
form. Gets fucking teleported.
Guys, I was so ready to be like, nah, actually, this is important. Like, this is a Taurus qualm, and he's okay with not doing it. I was so ready for that. Taurus was too.
I'm just picturing.
Oh.
All I can stop picturing is the fucking Taurus. You remember the one rum and one coke.
Why the long pause?
All I'm picturing is
Where'd that go?
Taurus being like, one robin egg, or one sparrow egg, and that's it. And Oberon's like, why the long pause? It's just fucking Cailleach strangling him afterwards.
Where'd that go?
Alright.
Okay, we better get back
Anyway.
up there.
Alright. Anyways,
Back
I'm still
on
fucking
track.
pissed, but we're fucking we ball.
Do not cut any of that out. Leave that entire thing in the episode. You fucking better.
But that's a perfect like TikTok short right there.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely taking that. I'm absolutely.
Edgar doesn't know why he's pissed at Tauros. He's so mad at Tauros.
be back the replacer.
But go on.
So Cailleach swipes the egg. She says, "Yeah, that's fine." And it's just like, what next?
Oberon clearly needs a minute, and by that I mean Trey still needs a minute to fucking gather his thoughts. Oberon's preparing all this, and he's like, "It was that easy." And he's like Edgar. He's like, "We should have just looked for more fucking eggs. I'm an idiot." Okay. So didn't Bannon say that he had anti-divination stuff at his?
Yes.
He said that they were going to be working on a plan to help you guys with non-detection magic.
Yeah. So, do we want to use a favor on that, or are we mainly thinking for the power?
I think remembering that. I think the power. If you guys.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Because we can deal with that for like another week or two to get okay. As you have been able to show us, you have been the power that the gift from Morrigan that we keep is not easily hidden from people with keen senses. I would like to ask if you have a way to maybe a safer containment source or a safer way to have it in our possession without drawing attention to us.
I believe I may. And as she says that, she like goes back into the like down the hall in her home, where like the sword floated away. And like she like walks back there. She's back there for like a few minutes. After a moment, she returns and she has this like mid-sized like urn. And she says, "This is an item of my own creation. Anything placed inside of this urn will be impossible to perceive by any means of magic. Additionally, it will also suppress any magic emanations coming from things within it." And she shows like there's like a stopper on the urn that you can use to close it up and everything. And she says, "I'd be happy to offer it to you. What would you offer in return?"
I give you this sparrow egg. That's totally not a sparrow egg. It's just a rock.
It's not rock. I painted it like a sparrow egg.
Yeah, he thought about this. I have an idea, but what is it exactly that you would think would be something of equal value for this?
It is quite powerful magic. I could do. There are a few options. I could take 3 years of your life. I could also take the recruitment of your firstborn daughter into my coven.
That's an instant no. This is
Hang out
over
with
on his head.
I could also. I could take the memory of someone you love.
I ask you this before I make my decision. Would it be when a deal with you is agreed upon? Is there any way to alter it, or is it set in stone?
She smiles and says, "My word is my bond, dear boy. Any deal that you make with me is binding in the terms with which it was originally made.
Would I be able to accept the price for someone else's?
For someone else's, meaning that it would be the memory of you from a loved one.
No, I mean of Essa's deal for 1 year of his life.
You would like to take what Essa would owe me for the training, in addition to the payment that you would owe me for this favor?
Yes.
We have not already made our deal yet, Essa, so in that case I believe that could be amenable.
You don't have to do this. Overon.
That would be 4 years of your life.
Mine's only 1 year. Do not make it 4 for yours.
You are a human.
I was about to say, Oberon, I will live in purely natural circumstances. I will live longer than you will. 1 year of your life equals about 3 of them. Or sorry, 1 year of my life equals about 3 of yours. I'll make the deal.
Very well. And she extends a hand to you.
Oberon just doesn't. He shakes her hand. Jack, feel free to tell me if this is I'm sorry, I'm looking at Alice's fucking message in disgust.
What?
No, shut the fuck up. And I feel free again to tell me. Can I give an insight check as I shake her hand and as like whatever magic is going to like go through us? Can I just give an insight check to see if I can glean anything about her that's like under the surface that she may not be trying to show us? Just like anything.
Yeah, give me an insight check. A 16.
That's the worst one I've ever. Why couldn't it have been that?
And then a reroll for a 26. Unfortunately, we will be taking the 16. With a 16, you definitely get the impression that, it's not necessarily that she's been lying to you all, but, it's more like you feel as though you can't know her true intentions, thoughts, or beliefs. That there's just something about her that's very good at shielding that from you.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
As you go to take her hand, she shakes your hand and then breaks the shake to immediately plunge her hand into your chest. And then you feel her hand grasp around not your heart, but the core of your soul, as she then pierces into it with her claws and shreds a piece of it away, and then removes her hand from your chest with no entry or exit wound, no blood. And you see wisps of flame that are your soul before a small circle of dark shadow emerges directly above her hand, and the wisps of your soul are sucked into it.
Cool. Okay, Oberon doesn't just immediately vomit after that.
Mm-hmm. I will say you do definitely feel very fatigued all of a sudden, and she kind of pats you on the shoulder and just says, "It'll pass in a few minutes. Don't worry, boy."
He does his best to try and stay up and tall, but he is definitely sagging.
Mm-hmm. But then she does hand you the urn of non-detection. The urn of perfect non-detection.
Oberon just looks at Tauros, and in his mind, he's like, a fucking egg. A fucking egg.
Which we see she's just cooking. She's just making an omelet.
Oh, no. That's not what she's doing with it. Don't worry.
Hey, yo!
Oh no. It's almost worse.
Oberon
I didn't say
does,
anything. I just said she's not cooking it.
Let her not cook.
Let her.
He does give the urn to. He says, "Tauros, you could transfer it."
Absolutely. Well, the next one's going on. He's going to drop another 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming the 10 minutes has been up.
Yeah, it's definitely been
and
10 minutes since then.
Yeah. He's going to, he'll kind of very carefully move it from the bag to the earth.
Okay. All right.
And Oberon will put a stopper on it, and who has the bag of holding?
T
Me.
does.
Oberon's gonna hold on to the urn for right now.
So as soon as you put the stopper on it, all of you that could feel that kind of like wave of divine energy radiating from this thing, as soon as the stopper goes on the urn, you feel nothing.
That works.
All right. And then
All right. Edgar, go ahead and give her fucking your first toenail or something. Jeez.
Edgar didn't realize he was breathing a little bit harder because of the shard. So that when it seals, he unknowingly lets out a breath he didn't realize he was holding it for longer than he expected. As he sees everything that has just happened, he's gonna walk up. Last, more than anything, is an offer.
An offer.
We came here on the guidance of someone who we have been following for some time now. We used to be of the Empire, now we're not. We've learned a lot about what's been going on, and for some fucking reason, we seem to be at the heart of trying to stop a lot of what has been happening from allowing those who've had Morrigan's power from keeping it again. Those who we work with in Alliance, wanted us to come here to ask you to support us in our endeavors. We're not in the business to trust. They have been the nicest people that we have followed, but knowing what we have, as I look over to the urn, we can't let that possibly fall into any wrong hands, no matter whose hands those are. And so I'm going to make the offer that they want, to have you join us in this alliance to help stop the Empire, to stop the Immortal Empress, and possibly stop her from refueling and regaining this power of Morrigan's. But what I want to ask of you more than that is that, one, to trust us and know that the people in this room here right now do not want this, pointing to it again, to be used to hurt more people. That we'd rather destroy it than let it fall into those wrong hands. And ask that you help guide us in doing that, stopping this from being used as a weapon. If you'd like to learn more about the Alliance, we can. We do work with them, and I'll offer you that knowledge if you wish. But I care more than anything about just making sure people stay safe.
Give me a persuasion check, and I will say with advantage.
Awesome speech.
Thank God for advantage.
Thank God for that advantage. You got a
Oh.
19. She kind of nods and then says,
I am gonna. No, I can't do it on an ability check. Never mind. I can't favor by the gods.
And she says, I do find myself intrigued in the idea of destroying the project of the Prophet of Morrigan. Especially if we can prevent... Here's what I'll say. I have no strong interest in whether or not the Empire as it exists continues to do so. However, should this Empire fall, that could be a good blow to those who are faithful to the Sylvanists and their pantheon, especially to Morrigan. If you yourself, she says just to you, Edgar, pledge yourself to a cause of invalidating or destroying or depleting as much faith in the goddess Morrigan as you can, I will consider lending my aid to this alliance. Additionally, I've not had much interaction with the particular kind of magic that you wield. And as she says that you feel your eye throb. And she says, I wish to claim a piece of it, so that I may study it and understand it better. Don't worry, I won't remove your ability to access the gifts that you have, but you may find that in moments where your hatred or rage or bloodlust, as it were, threaten to overwhelm you, that you're not as able to resist that. Would this be a fair bargain?
You asked when we started all these negotiations how we felt about Morrigan. I tried really hard not to say anything in that moment. But you're bringing up rage and letting it go. And when I found out she killed not just gods, but she killed a love that two gods had. She killed a chance for the two sides of who I am to be together and be something in this world. I've tried really, really hard to keep it in just how much I fucking hate her. So yeah, take it. Because something tells me when the time comes, I'm not going to be able to keep it in myself anyway.
Very well. She offers you a hand.
I'll take it.
She shakes your hand, and upon doing so, she plunges her hand directly into your eye. And with her claws, scrapes from the scrapes at the ritual that still resides within you, and carves a piece of it out of you, and then takes it from you, and kind of takes this sort of metaphysical piece of this ritual that you conducted and puts it in this satchel that she has. And now, Edgar, when you are rolling against Bloodlust, you will have a -4 to that roll.
Ooh.
That's a
Just-
lot.
Yeah, we'll talk about on addiction, what that means mechanically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. And then she claps her hands and says, now, I do believe that I have some training I need to organize. And she says, looking to Essa.
He nods.
Mm-hmm. Come with me. And she takes you away. And she looks back to you all and says, she says to you all, this will be just a, and she looks at a clock that's on her wall. No less than an hour and a half. We should be able to take this.
Real quick. Do you have, by chance, any alchemical supplies that we might be able to gather, or anything interesting out in the forest here that I could look for?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure I do. You feel free to look around, make yourselves comfortable. Do not venture beyond my kitchen or my living room. If you do go outside to begin foraging for alchemical herbs and things of that nature, do ensure that you do not leave more than 50 feet from my tree, or else you may get lost and never find it again. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
uh, all right. Come with me, child. And as she takes you into a room deeper and deeper and deeper inside of her home, uh, before bringing you to a room that like has this door that's like sealed with like several different talismans. There's ritualistic enchantments carved into the door, and then she just kind of like taps it, and all of them just vanish. And she opens it. The two of you walk in, and you immediately become nearly overwhelmed by this oppressive force of death. You feel like imminent death on you right now as you enter this room. Uh, Give me a wisdom save real quick.
All right. Oof. 12.
12. Yeah, you're terrified.
Yeah.
Then Cailleach casts calm emotions on you, and then she just says, "Can't be having that. We have a bit of a time crunch." And she says, "This room is a place where I have the ability to, I suppose you could say, commune with the Reaper. Because I understand that you all have things you need to begin doing, we can't do this necessarily in the nice way. So I'm going to expose you to an aspect of your powers that you have not understood yet, and doing so will either shatter your mind or uh, be able to have gain you the insight into your abilities that you seek."
Okay.
Great. And she begins training you. She shows you ways of being able to not only contact souls, but also manipulate your own soul. She instructs you on more ways of interacting and using that shard of entropy that's within you. And throughout the hour that you are doing this, there are several moments where you become very aware of the presence of the Reaper in a way that you never have before. Uh, but always she manages to steer you away from being fully overwhelmed by it. Uh, and After all of your training, uh, she says, "Now, do you understand your abilities?"
A lot more. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And as she says that, she walks you out of the room. And Essa, you feel this sort of lightness to your gait as you walk. This sense of like feeling a little more attuned to yourself. And Essa, we are now going to discuss the new abilities that you have received as a result of your training. You have now gained the ability to activate your shard of entropy. In doing so, as an action, you can choose to either activate Soul Voyage or Reaper's Bait. Uh, Once you activate either of these abilities, You cannot activate them again for a full day without penalty. If you do attempt to activate them multiple times in the same day, you will need to make a Constitution saving throw of a DC 13. If you fail, you will gain a death saving failure that cannot be removed until you take a long rest or take a greater restoration spell. And that DC increases by 2 for each additional use beyond the second time. Now, what you get access to, the first one is Soul Voyage. Your soul leaves your mortal body, attached only by a thread of spiritual energy that keeps you anchored and allows you to return. You can remain in this form for up to 10 minutes, ending it as an action when your soul is within 5 feet of your body. While in this form, you can enter and exit the ethereal plane at will. While in the ethereal plane, you are immune to damage from sources on the mortal plane and cannot be perceived by creatures or magical effects that do not interact with the ethereal plane. While in the material plane, while in the ethereal plane, you can perceive the material plane, but this form does not allow you to interact with the material plane except by telepathically speaking to creatures. So you can't manipulate objects, you can't open doors, things like that. While in this form, you cannot move more than 500 feet from your body, or else you risk severing the connection and dying. So that is your Soul Voyage. Your other ability is your Reaper's Bait. So you call upon death itself, tempting the Reaper into appearing for harvest. Your body is shrouded by darkness, and all creatures that can see you sense the approach of imminent death. This form lasts for a minute or until you end it as a bonus action. While in this form, your attacks deal additional necrotic damage equal to your player level once per turn. You can sacrifice one of your phantom tokens, your cards, to increase that damage to your player level plus your proficiency bonus. You can use that as a bonus action to get that additional damage on your next successful attack. If you succeed in killing a creature while in that form, its soul is claimed by the Reaper and cannot be collected as a token or revived except by the use of a wish spell. Additionally, if you fail to make a sacrifice to the Reaper while in that form, when the form ends, you suffer a death saving failure that cannot be restored until after taking a long rest or getting the greater restoration spell.
Ooh.
And that's what you get.
Ooh.
Additionally, you now have full access and control over your Phantom Rogue abilities. No longer are you forced to use your reaction to claim the soul of a creature that dies. I will also say that now, I'll say you get a +2 when attempting to contact spirits with the use of your medium's channel.
Gotcha.
All right. So Cailleach returns, and you all see Essa. How's Essa looking after that intense hour of training?
Haggard is an understatement. Like when he walks through the out from the bag, like it looks like the weight of the world is like lifted off his shoulders, and he's able to like stand up straight for the first time in that entire hour and a half that he's been gone. And like he's breathing heavy. He just has like this. He's a bit gaunt, like his skin, like he's gone a bit gaunt, like not like obviously not permanent damage, but definitely like he has overexerted himself. If this was at like normal exhaustion, he would be at 5 out of 6.
And then Cailleach claps her hands together and she says, I will, if there's no further requests or questions, I'll be, oh yes, sorry.
I think Oberon and Edgar are talking as this is happening at one point, and we go to her with an idea.
Okay.
If Oberon's cool with it.
Yes. So Oberon is going to mention this would not necessarily be a big favor to ask. We would simply like for you to help us perform some deception against the Empire, if you would.
Well, considering I'm now an ally of your alliance, I suppose that's only natural.
Tell me, is the inside of this tree protected from spells such as scrying?
Oh, absolutely.
Would it be possible to take those protections away for a few minutes?
Yes.
We would like to propose to... We have somebody who has been consistently scrying on us to keep tabs and knows that we are in the possession of this, and he's going to point to the urn that he's got.
Mm-hmm.
We were wondering if you would be willing to act as if we are handing this shard over to you while the person was scrying on us.
She just kind of like her lips curl into a wicked grin, and she just says, "I think that that's a lovely idea." Yeah. So she will drop the scrying or drop the non-detection.
So the way that I'm picturing this is she has she doesn't have like the she has the urn,
right,
and
I say if we can take the urn out of the equation,
yeah.
put that away
So-
just for that
so-
moment. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So essentially, Tauros has the thing when when Scry is on us. He has it. He gives it to her. She takes it, and then she looks up, sees the orb, acts surprised, can quickly dispel it if she can,
yeah.
and then we put it immediately in there. And after the orb's gone, and no one's the wiser.
Absolutely. I think this calls for a deception check by Cailleach.
Yeah. Hey, aren't you guys glad that we know what her strength is?
Yeah.
All right. And I'll say that you all doing this is like giving her the help action, so she'll have advantage.
we'll have T do it to make it
Yeah.
look
Mhm.
more professional.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Ooh,
She had a plus 12. She rolled a 1 and a 4.
mm-hmm.
Can you use your rune, Oberon?
Wait. Can I say that doesn't let her re-roll? That just gives her advantage. She already had
Yeah,
it.
but he had advantage.
You know what? I will be nice, and I will let her reroll.
I mean, you
Two
don't. If
worse.
that's
Yeah, it's
That's what the dice say. That's what the
if
dice
that's what the dice say. That's what the dice say. Like,
It's
Well,
not bad.
to be fair, I also feel like I didn't give you as good of a benefit when you guys did the luck roll on the scry the last time that you guys had it, because you guys did a luck roll, and I feel like you didn't get as good of an outcome as you should have given you. So we will.
if that's what you think,
yeah.
more than appreciate it.
Let's try it out.
It's gonna
It's
be
even
worse.
worse.
Hey.
Hey.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Still not above a 10 though. 2 and a 9.
Look.
She's a part of the alliance now. She rolls like us.
Yes.
Yeah, one of us.
One of us.
All
us.
right. Well, with that all taken care of, she will return her non-detection and then look at all you and say, after I transport you all to Ella I'll begin making my way to where this headquarters of the Monstrous Alliance is. I hope that you all find success in your dealings in that village, and I hope that we will all see each other again soon.
May, before this, I just thought of one last thing. What do you know This is just a personal question. What do you know about Regulus Claudius the First?
Yes, he's a devoted acolyte to the Immortal Empress. A gifted magic user, I'd say. As she's like thinking, she's like, from what I know of him, he quite detests the fact that he will die soon. And those with the power and influence of Mr. Regulus Claudius believe that they have ways to circumvent fate. I don't know exactly, but I know that he wouldn't let himself die very easily.
Oh, fuck. This is Trey. This is not Oberon. Oberon has no fucking clue. Trey just came to a horrifying realization.
AJ also
I
put
just
those
came
Edgar can't piece shit together. I'm like, fuck.
Neither can Oberon. AJ, are we thinking the same exact thing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
All right. Well, unless there's any other things you all want to say to Cailleach?
Jack, we could just message about what I might find
Yes.
for alchemy.
Yeah,
shit.
we'll take care of that later.
Yep.
All right.
Is that what you're thinking, AJ?
People are passing notes in class. What a
Passing notes in class.
I'm sorry.
Taurus will ask, you're moving towards them. Will we maybe see you again?
Oh, I'm sure that at some point we will.
Sounds good.
We're now allies.
Sounds good.
And with that, she is going to look at you all and say, now if you all wouldn't mind standing within 5 feet of each other, please, real quick. And as you all huddle up, she just...
really awkward group hug.
Yeah, she cracks the bones in her wrist, cracks her knuckles, and then takes out the sparrow egg and smashes it, and all of you teleport to Ella Creek.
And that's in character. This is in oh, you gotta be fucking.
And as you all transport to Ella Creek, I think that's where we end it for this episode of Dice Age.
Jack, do we level up?
You all do level up, yes.
Yeah.